Blessings and good evening. Tonight we've once again come together to practice together. When we practice together regularly, it brings about a sense of communal support. As we all know, it's quite difficult to go at an endeavour, whatever the endeavour may be, to do it alone is typically quite difficult. We often rely on supports from community, family members, teachers to achieve our goals in life, to undertake aspirations to achieve in life. And the same goes for Dhamma practice. We use the supports of online forums like this, or in person in monasteries, giving up time in your busy lives to set aside some time for self-reflection, self-improvement, trying to understand our minds a little bit better. When we have others who are also trying, it supports us in that common aim, common goal. Even maybe no words are spoken, or very few words are spoken, but it's that common aspiration which cultivates a very supportive environment. We call these type of people Kalyanamitta. So our spiritual friends, living with spiritual companionship, friends. They help us in good times and in bad times. They encourage us to put more effort into our practice when we're feeling like not doing so. They guide us to a wholesome direction, maybe steering us away from unwholesome directions which we can fall into trappings of. But ultimately it's up to us. We're in control of that. We make that choice to give importance to our meditation, our cultivation of the Buddha's teachings, and we make choices to come to places that are supportive, be with people who are those type of Kalyanamitta for us. In the monk's life, it's an extreme example of that, where we are surrounded by not only fellow monastic practitioners, we're also surrounded by images of the Buddha, images of senior monks who have practiced the Buddhist teachings. So everything is geared towards encouraging oneself and encouraging others in the cultivation of mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. So feeling that supportive environment is a very good basis for us to grow and flourish as well. To inquire inwards, to learn how to understand how our minds work, how we can teach our minds to bring up wholesome mind states, abandon unwholesome mind states. We're almost re-educating ourselves. And what do we need to do that? And you have to say one of the number one qualities is mindfulness. So the supportive people, the supportive environment only goes so far. We need to try our best to cultivate this self-awareness, this mindfulness, not only on the meditation cushion, but throughout our days, whether that's inside a monastery or outside of a monastery. We learn how to keep watch over our minds. Are we falling into bad habits of thinking, which leads us to suffer? And how do we pull it back to retrain ourselves in thinking, speaking, and acting in ways which bring our mind to more peaceful, calm, kind states of mind. As we all know, the Buddha gave many antidotes to a lot of common themes of the human mind, such as greed, hatred or anger, these kind of larger categories of our experience. But we'll have other emotions like jealousy, envy, anxiety, worry, sadness, elation. So we need to know how to implement those cures to those, so we say, mental illnesses of the mind. Like learning how to begin to think of kind thoughts or kindly thoughts of others to combat the negative tendency of mind to think badly of someone. We often find that just one negative thought about somebody leads to another negative thought about that person. And if we're not careful, we often find ourselves in this angry state of mind, and somehow we don't know how we got there. But if we retrace our steps, we'll have to be honest with ourselves to see that we have fallen into negative thinking about that person or about that situation, and it's led to this negative emotion to arise. So when we want to cultivate our minds and grow in the Buddhist teachings, we learn how to understand the workings of the mind and start to retrain our minds with this quality of mindfulness to give rise to these more wholesome states of mind. And then they start pervading our experience eventually. After training oneself and thinking positively about family members, our loved ones, our fellow monastic friends in the holy life, then we start feeling good when we're around them. We start feeling kind thoughts towards them almost automatically. But this has come about through our efforts in giving attention to or re-educating ourselves in cultivating these more wholesome mind states to arise. As we know, it takes effort as well. And right effort is, when we often think of effort, we think of somebody who is doing a lot of physical exertion. But when we talk about right effort in Buddhism, it can be the effort of moving from a negative state of mind and bringing up a positive state of mind. This is right effort. And often that can feel heavier or harder than lifting a big weight with one's body. But with practice, perseverance, patience, then we slowly get better at this. Maybe the results come slower than we expect, but if we don't give up, then we continue to flourish and grow in the Dhamma. So for tonight, I'll just say those few words and encourage you in your meditation. We can continue to do so for the next period of time.